everybody and welcome on today's video. Today is a rather chilly day, but I still can do some work for my trees. Not on my trees, but for my trees, and the one that I am having in mind is this big Carpinus bundle fusion. Now, the tree did not do too well this year. Well, it did very well in spring, and then of course the hot summer. I'm repeating myself, I know, but I had quite a lot of damage and it was a very disappointing growing season for me. So a few of the newest little trees that I added to complete the fusion did not make it. So yeah, I didn't really progress a lot on this tree this year, and I was thinking, well, I must do something about the temperatures that we are going to have, and maybe I should try to cultivate this tree in a bigger pot to make sure that the fusion works. I also am going to add one of my other fusion trees here. Well, it's not going to be a fusion tree anymore because all the trees except for one did not make it. So I'll show you this one. So if you follow the channel a little bit, well, you know that this also is a fusion Carpinus. I don't think that this one made it. This one is okay. So that's a big nice tree, and I can surely add this one. Well, I hope he's alive. I'll have to check every little part and see in spring what it does. Anyways, it means that I will replant all these trees and yeah, in a big pot. Now, as you surely know, big pots are really expensive, and so I was thinking, well, cement pots, well, that's nice, that they're really heavy and they're not that easy to make too. If you want it to look cool, to have some character. So I was thinking a wooden box, that's nice, a wooden growing box, it's always a good thing, and wood is quite thick and is a good insulation for the roots. But a wooden box is mostly a square thing, so I don't like that. So I thought, I saw wooden pots with 6 angles, and I had a look on them, and they're fairly expensive too. So I thought maybe I'll try to make one myself. So this is what I did. So when you make a pot with 6 angles, you can do 2 things. You can make it fairly easy like this. Of course, you have to cut your wood in. It's a little bit of a puzzle, of course, in pieces where you have a 60-degree angle, 60 degree for this one. It's important. Okay, and then you position it like this, and then of course, well, you're a little bit in trouble because this is not very high. Of course, you can use higher pieces of wood, but these are fairly easy to manage. So what I saw in the shop was that they used the wood in a completely other direction, and it was very strange in the beginning to understand what they were doing. So you see, at the end I put a new one on top, so at the end I put a new one on top, at the end a new one on top, at the end a new one on top, at the end a new one on top, and this one has to come this way. So the pot is a little smaller, but what does this construction mean? So it means that, and of course you need 12 of them to show that, but I'm going to use these ones. I can now put this one here, and I put another one there, and what this makes is this. So now these pieces of wood are going to have a part that is overlapping, so it makes it very strong. So that's a good idea when you glue that, and you can also put a screw through it, so it makes it even stronger. Okay, So that's the idea. Now, 6 sides, I found it, I don't know, I like a round pot, but round is going to be extremely difficult, so I thought, well, let's try something with 12 corners. So this is what I did, and I made 36 of these little pieces of wood, which was not that complicated. We have a 30-degree angle here. It's starting to rain. And to make this easy, I prepared this piece of, you just slide your wood through that, and then it's easy to cut. What I should have mentioned, with the other two, you can always, you see, it's always the same, so you don't have to always get rid of some of your wood. Just the ends, the first one you needed to chop off a little piece, and then for the rest it's always the same. So, of course this gets a little complicated, but you can always position your first 12 blocks and then measure if you have a if you have the same length almost everywhere. And what I'm now going to do is to put these ones here on top, and as you see, it's going to be the same principle. You can see where I cut these are the white spots, and so I can continue and work my way up, and I'm planning to do 3 stages. So I'm going to glue that. It's going to take a while, and then we'll be back to see what we can do to finish this pot. All the pieces of wood are now glued together, and it's been sitting like that for, well, almost an hour. Well, the glue is not completely dry, but I can already lift this. It weighs absolutely nothing, so that's really great. So as you probably can see here now, this and this piece is the same, and then this is different. So if I drill a hole now right through here, I'm gonna grab the 3 pieces of wood when I insert this screw, so it will make it a whole lot stronger. And well, yeah, so first I'm gonna drill a hole, and no worries about the table because the drill is shorter than the wood. So now I need to do that 12 times, which is of course nothing that I will show you completely because this might get kind of boring. Now these screws have a fairly big head, and I want it to sink in a little, so I'm just going to make a wider base with this. So now I can put the screw in, and I'm doing this manually. It is old school. Of course, it's easier if you have an electrical machine to do that, but this keeps my arm healthy. All the screws are now in place, and well, obviously this is quite solid now. I will have to remove some glue from the inside when it's completely dry. It's very easy to peel that off, and maybe I can do some sanding on the outside to get some of these, well, a little more rougher edges away. But this weighs absolutely nothing, so that's a whole lot better than a cement pot. And well, I don't know, maybe I don't know how much time this thing is going to last, but if it lasts for 2 or 3 years, it's gonna be more than enough. So of course I don't have a bottom now, so this will be the top, because you don't see the screws here. So now I need to create a bottom for this whole construction. So it's really simple. I'm going to take the same wood and just make a few small pieces that I can put over it. I'll screw them on like I did with the other ones. One screw here, one screw somewhere here, so that it's solid, and I'll leave maybe 1 centimeter between them, so that I can well, it will make my my drainage screens. So yeah, no, I mean my holes for the water, well, you know, and then I'll put some drainage screen over it. So let's do that. So now I have a bottom in this pot, and it's made of a whole lot of small pieces of wood that I have left. Well, maybe you're interested in the price, so I think that I am somewhere around €4 of wood, and well, the glue of course, but that's, well, almost nothing, and then maybe €1 or €2 of screws and stuff like that. But now I think I'll try to make this a little nicer, and maybe get a few drops of paint on it, but just to protect the wood. So I think I have some brown stuff left, so let's paint this, and then we'll be back for a final shot when it's done. The pot now has a one coating of, because, well, you can see a little bit of the green here, so maybe it needs a second one, but I think it looks rather nice. It has this rustic look to it, and it is really like you can lift it like nothing. So that's really great. And I did not paint the inside because, well, that's quite useless. I found a big screen here that I used as a window thing, you know what I mean. And it was, well, it had to be replaced because it was full of little holes. So that's probably what I'm going to use inside this pot. And as long as it disappears in the pot and that you cannot see it, it's good, and it will hold a whole lot of substrate, which is of course very nice. It's not really fitting, but I think that when you put the soil in, the soil will press everything against the sides, so that's gonna be okay. So I'm very pleased with that. And yeah, now I have a big pot for my carpinus tree, and I hope that this wooden box will provide the insulation needed, will provide the moisture, a constant moisture in the pot, and yeah, the weather will not have such an impact on the trees then. So I really like it. I probably will make some more. So just for the record, if you construct pieces of wood on this 12 squared, and you make the largest part here, so the widest bit, you make it 14.5 centimeter. It should give you an idea about the total length of the pot, which is, wait a minute please, so it is something at the outside, it's almost 45 centimeters, yeah, and inside it should be something like 41, I guess, 41. Yeah. Well, of course, it depends on the width of your wood. This is a 2 centimeter wood, so it should give you an idea. So this concludes the construction of this wooden box pot, because it's not really a stupid box. I think it's well a fun pot, and of course, well, it will look better when there's a tree in it. It will appear more like a pot then. So yeah, I must say it took some time to build this. I think yeah, well, it was a day's work, but yeah, I like doing that stuff. So if you're into do-it-yourself stuff, well, that's probably something you can do by yourself. So remember, for the 12 corners, you need angles of 30 degrees. If you want to do it with 6 corners, you're gonna need 60 degrees. And well, if you make a pot, well, let me know. I'll post a picture or post a video and I'll link to your channel. So that's it for today. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and see you next time.